Welcome friends. This is going to be a flow for softening the heart and tuning into our emotions. So in reading a book by Tara Stiles, I came across an excerpt that was fascinating, so I'm going to share it with you. So there's a man named Dr. Wittstein, and he's a cardiologist at Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine in Baltimore. And he published a study on something called the broken heart syndrome. So he talks about how when we have a heart attack, our heart cells actually die. But there's also something that he has found to be a condition as he studies MRIs, and that is called stress cardiomyopathy, which is when the heart cells are temporarily stunned. So this can be due to a variety of things, from trauma to emotional abuse, suppressed memories, things that can actually over time stun our heart cells so that we as individuals are not as fully alive as we were intended and created to be. So yoga can help us to, for one, heal emotionally by getting into a different headspace, and also heal physically. And there are various poses that as we do can open up our heart space and actually start to physically bring those stunned heart cells back to life. So it's fascinating and wonderful. So that's where we're going today. To maybe you have an actual trauma or heartache right now that you are living with, or maybe you aren't sure what that is, and we're just going to be here and invite our heart spaces to open up and for those stunned places to come back to life. So start by coming into cow face. So we're going to take the right knee is going to come directly in front of you, and then the left knee is going to start to cross over, stacking on top of that right hip. So for a little deeper stretch, the feet will come out towards the front of your mat, and for a little less stretch, the heels can come more towards your hips. So find your alignment here, and take the shoulders and roll them back, and then take the fingertips and place them behind you with a straight spine. Opening up the heart space here. Coming into our Ujjayi breath, we're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose, pausing at the top. So we inhale deeply and exhale. Continue in that breath at your own pace. Our intention today can be drawn back to a quote that says, no matter how deep the issue is, and no matter how long you have struggled with it, the possibilities exist to become absolutely whole, free, and healed. One more deep breath here. And then we're going to unstack the legs, coming into cow face on the other side. So left knee is directly in front, right knee crosses over. We stack here. Start to press the heels, walk them a little bit more towards the front of the mat to feel a deeper stretch. Straighten the spine, and then take the fingertips back behind you. Opening up the heart space. Take 2 big breaths here. Take the legs now and come into just a simple seated posture. We're going to take the arms and raise them up high, so as if there is a string pulling at the fingertips, creating length through the spine vertebrae. Length from the fingertips all the way to the tail. As you inhale, create a little more space through each vertebrae. We're going to take the right hand to the left knee, left hand to the right knee, and start to open up the back body by creating an arch in the curvature of the back. So the shoulders are coming forwards, and then start to hang the head heavy there, feeling that deep stretch in the neck. Inhale, hands come back up high, fingertips are wide. Exhale, clasp the hands behind you and start to press the palms towards the back, opening up the heart space here. Inhale, fingertips come up high. Exhale, right hand behind you, left hand to right knee. Straighten the spine and then twist from the low belly. Inhale, hands come back up high. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, come back to neutral hands. Roll the shoulders back 2 times and then roll them forwards. Good. Coming into all fours now. So plant the hands directly under the shoulders. Hips are in line with the knees. And then we're going to step back, coming to a plank pose. Hold here for 3 breaths. Energy shooting through the heels, inward spiraling the thighs. And then start to rock the body forward, coming up on the toes. So the shoulders are coming over the wrists now, and then lower down through your chaturanga all the way down to the belly. And we're going to come into bow pose. So take the feet at a 90-degree angle and then reach back for the feet and start to pull up, opening up the heart space and lifting the thighs off of the mat. Pull those knees towards each other. They'll have a tendency to splay out, but as we pull them towards each other, we can experience the full benefits of the posture here. On the inhale, try to pull up a little bit higher. And on the exhale, let the body rock. One more deep inhale and exhale. Release the bow, full body stretch. So walk the fingertips out long in front of you. Feet point behind you. Take the arms down and create a pillow for your forehead. So the hands are going to come to the opposite elbows, and then plant the forehead down to the wrists. Take the feet at a 90-degree angles, and we're going to windshield wiper back and forth. So this is just releasing the hips, creating gentleness, inviting our bodies into this space. Good. Take the hands down by the ribs, tuck the toes under, press back up to plank, and then lift into your downward dog. So it's more important here that the spine is straight than that the knees are straight. So maybe the knees need to be bent so that the tail can get higher. And then from there you can start to straighten the legs, but keep the tail high. Long line of energy from the fingertips all the way up through the tail. And then take the left foot and we're going to step it through into our crescent. Hands come up high. Lower that right leg. Take the hands and plant them behind you. So you can start to lunge down towards the ground. Fingertips might not reach the ground, but feeling that stretch in the right thigh, opening up the heart space, engaging the abs here to keep the body strong. Good. Come back forward. Take the right hand to the ground. Open up the left wing. And then plant both hands on the ground and walk the left foot towards the right side of the mat, coming into pigeon. Back leg is going to start to straighten. So modification here is that the closer we pull the foot towards the hips, the less pressure you'll feel. So if you want a deeper stretch, start to move that foot out further. Once you're in your pigeon, roll the shoulders back and again open up the heart space by walking the fingertips down towards the thigh. And breathe here. Inviting those stunned heart cells back to life. As if there's a beam shooting light from your chest. Take the hands and walk them forward now. Tuck the back foot and raise back into your downward dog. Take the right foot now, step it through to your crescent, hands sweep up high. Lower that left knee, lower the left hand, open the right knee. Hands come down to the mat. Start to walk the right foot over for pigeon on the right side. Roll the shoulders back and walk the fingertips behind you. Start to walk the fingertips forwards, tuck the back toes, and press into your downward dog. Walk the knees out here a little bit, and then take the knees, coming back down to all fours, and press into your child's pose for 2 breaths here. Coming back to our intention, getting steady with your breath again. No matter how deep the issue is, and no matter how long you have struggled with it, the possibility exists to become absolutely free, whole, and healed. Come back to all fours now. Press into your downward dog. Walk the feet towards the hand, coming into a full forward fold. And then slightly bend the knees, hands sweep high, all the way to standing. Coming back to those initial postures with the arms, so fingertips are spread wide, long line of energy from the feet all the way to the fingertips. And then take the hands into prayer, pull them through to heart center. Hinge at the hips, full forward fold. Reach halfway up for length so the spine is straight, ribs press towards the front of the mat. And exhale, full forward fold. Plant the hands, step back to plank. Lower down through chaturanga, squeezing the elbows towards the ribs, coming into upward dog, inhale. Tuck the toes, press back, downward dog, tail comes high. Left foot steps up through the hands sweep high, coming into crescent. Inhale here, exhale, hands come low, stepping back to plank. Lower down the arms, chaturanga, upward dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot steps through the hands sweep high, crescent pose. Inhale here, exhale, hands come down, step back to plank, lower down chaturanga, upward dog. Tuck the toes, down dog. Step both feet forward here, rise up into your chair pose, tail is down, knees stay bent. Take a deep inhale here, and exhale, pull the body up as if there's a string straightening the legs, hands come high. Hands come through to heart center, lower back down into your chair. Hands plant on the floor, full forward fold. Reach halfway up for length, full forward fold. Stepping back to plank. Lower down chaturanga. Upward dog. Tuck the toes, downward dog. Left foot steps through to crescent, arms sweep up high. Find your alignment here, so make sure that left hip is pulled back in line with the right hip. The knee is over the ankle. Exhale, hands come down, step it back to plank, and lower down chaturanga. Upward dog. Tuck the toes, downward dog. Right foot steps through, hands sweep high to crescent. Exhale, hands come down, step back to plank. Lower down chaturanga. Upward dog. Pause in your upward dog here. Strong arms. Roll the shoulders back so the heart space is open, light beaming from the chest. Tuck the toes, downward dog. Both feet step through the hands, and we come into chair pose. Straighten the spine here. And then as if there's a string above you, pull the body slowly up to standing. Exhale, hands come through to heart center, back into your chair pose. Hands plant on the ground, full forward fold. Good, take the feet now, hips width distance apart. Link the hands to the elbows and let the body sway side to side. Find your breath again. Good, step back to plank here. We're going to take the right knee to the right elbow and tap. On the inhale, we're going to slide the knee down towards the wrist. Exhale, pull the knee up towards the elbow. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale, pull up. Inhale, down. Exhale, pull up. Step it back to plank. Left knee to left elbow. Inhale, slide towards the wrist. Exhale, pull it up. 2 more times. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. Shoot it back to plank. Knees come down. Child's pose. Press the body back up to all fours. Tuck the toes under. Downward dog. Left foot steps through, rising into our crescent. Energy out the back right heel. And then twist towards the left knee. So the right hand shoots forward. Left hand is back. Wringing out the organs here. Hands sweep up high, coming back to your crescent. And link the hands behind you. Press the palms towards the floor. Lots of strength through that back leg. Engage the thigh. Hands sweep up high. And plant both hands on the ground. Step it back to plank. Pull up to down dog. Right foot steps through. Rise into crescent. Twist here. So left hand comes forward. Right hand comes back. Strong legs, straight spine. Arms sweep high, back to crescent. Link the hands behind you, pressing towards the ground, opening up the heart. Lots of energy out the back heel. Straighten that back leg. Hands come high, back to crescent. Plant both hands on the ground here. Step it back to plank. Hold here for 3. For 2, and 1. Knees plant on the ground and come into a seated posture. And we're going to find our way all the way to our back. So if you have a block handy, go ahead and just grab that so it's close to you. So we're going to come onto our backs. Feet are planted on the ground and come into your cactus arms. So our cactus arms are at a 90-degree angle here from the elbows. Arms are on the ground. And then pull the knees towards you so the feet are directly above the floor. And then we're going to engage the abs, let the knees fall to the right side. Back to neutral. Knees fall to the left side. Back to neutral. One more time to the right. Neutral. And to the left. Neutral. Plant the heels on the ground now. Coming into a bridge. So for our first bridge, we're going to take the hands, plant the palms down by the hips. Engage through all 4 corners of the feet. Knees are together. not splayed out wide. And then start to pull the hips up towards the ceiling. Bring those knees towards each other, not letting them splay out. Palms are still on the ground. Start to walk the shoulders a little more towards each other. And then try to release the glutes. So we want soft glutes here. So legs are engaged, arms are engaged, and the glutes are soft. Lower the hips down, back to the mat, and then reach for your block if you have one. And we're going to come into the high side, but if that's too much for you, go ahead and take it to the low side. So we're just going to plant it right underneath the hips. So right where the back body meets the hips, we're going to plant the block there. Coming back into our bridge with a block. So hands are going to come down where they were on the sides of your body. Knees are still in alignment together, but the pressure should be off of the feet, off of the arms, and all the weight of the body should now be falling onto this block. Allowing the heart space to open. Reimagining those stunned heart cells and inviting them here in your vulnerability to come back to life. Let the inhale bring light into the heart space. Modification here, if you don't have your block, feel free to release the tail to the ground now so that you're in a resting posture. One more deep breath. You can stay here for as long as you need, or you can put weight back into the feet and pull the block out from under you. Rest the hips down to the ground. Option to come into a final posture of the wheel. So for wheel prep, we're going to put the weight in all four corners of the feet again. Take the hands above you so you can see the fingertips. Fingers are spread wide. And then start to plant the hands towards the ground. Fingertips are going to be facing towards your shoulders. Palms are on the ground. Feet should walk up so they're about 2 inches from the glutes. And then start to raise the hips again like we did in bridge. But this time we're going to transfer the weight into the palms, and then we're going to press up on through the palms. So there's no weight on the head here. Head is hanging heavy. Knees are together, so engaging the legs. Bring attention to all four corners of the feet, and then bring attention to the four corners of the hands. Slowly start to lower down, so we're bending the elbows, not putting weight in the neck, but slowly placing the pressure of the floor onto the back of the head as we lower down. Take the knees and pull them into heart center, counteracting that inversion, rocking side to side. Take the feet out long, coming into your final resting pose. Hands opening, palms towards the ceiling. Let the belly fall heavy. Let the toes splay out. Low back comes heavy. Release the jaw. Release the eyebrows. Stay in Savasana for as long as you like. And one more time, we'll come back to our intention by Brandon Braze. No matter how deep the issue is, and no matter how long you have struggled with it, the possibility exists to become absolutely free, absolutely whole, and absolutely healed. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today, friends. Namaste.